Right. Okay. I think we can get started. I can see we've got quite a few people in the call now. So thank you everybody for joining us this afternoon for this webinar. So welcome to the Marketing Cloud New Release webinar hosted by the Aquiant team. So today we're going to be talking you through some of the new functionality that has been released by Salesforce for Marketing Cloud as part of the October 2020 and January 2021 releases. So not only will we be showing you the new functionality, but our team of experts will also be talking you through how this can be applied in a real-life context within your business and how you can use this to improve and empower your customer experience. So I'll start with a quick introduction to our presenters today. So there's myself. I'm not going to be doing an awful lot today. I'll just be sitting back and listening to the experts talk us through the webinar today. So we have Justin Eng, who's our CX manager. We have Gerald, who sadly couldn't join us today due to a last-minute emergency, but Gerald has been instrumental in pulling the content together for today's webinar. So yes, worth a shout out for Gerald, who sadly can't be with us. And then we have our technical expert, Paolo Radist, who will be going through some of the more technical aspects of the new release. So before we get into it, just a very quick 2-minute update from Aquiant and what's new with us. So our Salesforce practice continues to grow from strength to strength. We've maintained our Gold Consulting Partner status into 2021. Our certifications are starting to stack up quite nicely. We've now got over 40 certifications across the team in areas including Marketing Cloud, Interaction Studio, Sales Cloud, Service Cloud, as well as many other verticals within the Salesforce suite of tools. And I guess the biggest news for us is that we've become one of the first partners in the region to actually be certified to deliver Salesforce Marketing Cloud's latest acquisition, which is Interaction Studio, previously known as Evergage. So some of the content that we'll be touching on today does include Evergage. And for those who would like to know more about that product and what it can do for your business and how it complements Marketing Cloud, I'd be very happy to set up some time for that discussion after the webinar. So please feel free to reach out to me. So without further ado, let's get into the exciting stuff. I'm going to pass over to Justin, who's going to kick off the webinar for us today.
Thank you, Rachel. So hi everyone, I'm Justin. I'm the CX manager with Aquiant. So for today's webinar, we have cherry-picked a few release highlights from October 2020 and the January 2021 Marketing Cloud release that we think are exciting and relevant for you. So for today's webinar, this is the list of release highlights that we'll be covering. So we'll start off with Google Analytics free account integration with Journey Builder, followed by Interaction Studio Journey Trigger on Segment Join, and as well as how to actually analyze your email and journeys with the new feature Datorama reports. We'll also be covering sending of transactional and chat messages with WhatsApp before jumping into the new Einstein features, Einstein Send Time Insights and Einstein Engagement Frequency, as well as Einstein Content Selection. We'll also talk about the SMS delivery tracking via transactional API, and end off the webinar with an exciting new feature, which is the in-email interaction with an email. So let's...
Sorry, just to chip in, we also have a question and answer box at the bottom. So if anyone's got any questions that they'd like to ask throughout the webinar, please just post your questions in the Q&A box and we will address them during the virtual Q&A at the end.
All right, so let's jump straight into the first release highlight, Google Analytics free account integration with Journey Builder. So with the previous release of Salesforce Marketing Cloud, it only allows integration with the paid version of Google Analytics, which is Google Analytics 360. But with this new release, you can now have the option to integrate the free version of Google Analytics with Salesforce Marketing Cloud Journey Builder. And this will actually allow you to unlock the ability to view journey analytics within Journey Builder itself. The integration allows you to have access to out-of-the-box Google Analytics tracking with minimal configuration required. It also allows you the ability to observe your subscribers' behavior on your website once they have clicked through from the communications triggered from your journeys. And at the same time, the Google Analytics integration can be easily done with Journey Builder without any technical implementation or expertise. So you simply have to link your free Google Analytics account within Marketing Cloud and set up the UTM parameters to actually start tracking. It's really that simple. So this is one of the exciting new release that we are touching on first. And next up, we want to talk about the new and exciting feature of Interaction Studio, Journey Trigger on Segment Join. So Interaction Studio can now add subscribers into journeys when they join a segment. So what does this mean? This will actually allow you to react in a matter of seconds to your subscribers' interactions across the different touch points that you have connected to Interaction Studio. So this feature can actually be used to achieve a variety of use cases. So just take a simple example. You can trigger someone and a communication, such as an acknowledgement email, when a customer has clicked on a specific CTA within your website. And if, let's say, you want to set up a more complex use case, for example, you might only want to add a subscriber into a journey if they have been identified as a high-value customer, engage in a specific campaign, be it through your other journeys or paid media campaigns, but dropped off without conversion. So the moment they fulfill the criteria and enter the segment, you can actually push all the subscribers over to Marketing Cloud and get them into a journey. All in all, you are only limited by the segments that you can create within Interaction Studio. And once you have the journey set up on Marketing Cloud with an API entry source, it's an easy integration of creating or selecting an existing segment in Interaction Studio and then syncing it to the journey that was set up. So let's now take a look at the demo to see how easy it is to set this up within Interaction Studio.
I'm in Interaction Studio, and here we are in User Segments. I'm going to pick a segment and then go to Edit. I click on Sync to Other Systems and select Add to Journey Builder on Join. This configures the segment so users who join get added to a journey in the current business unit. I select RTIM Sendable as the Journey API event. And here, this is the identity field for the contact key, which I select Salesforce Marketing Cloud Contact. And then I configure the email address. I'll save this and then head back into User Segments. It saved my export configuration. All right, now we'll send the info to Journey Builder. It's that simple.
So it really is as simple as that. Next up, we'll now talk about the new feature within Marketing Cloud, which is Datorama Reports. So Datorama Reports will be available for any users who have the corporate and enterprise edition of Marketing Cloud, as well as any pro edition with the Discovery Report add-on. As some of you may know, Salesforce actually plans to retire the Discovery Report functionality within Marketing Cloud in the April 2022 release. And taking its place is Datorama Reports. So Datorama Reports is an out-of-the-box solution that actually allows you to generate, view, and share detailed analysis of your emails and journey campaign level data. You can now easily measure and analyze your campaign deliveries, engagement, and performance with the filterable dashboards powered by Datorama. If you want to go a step further, Datorama Reports also allows you to build custom pivot reports with the email and journey dimensions and measurement tied to your campaign sense. And this is similar to what the previous Discovery Report offer when you create a custom Discovery Report. And then lastly, Datorama Reports allows you to easily share campaign analytics and reports with your stakeholder. And you can do so in a variety of formats such as sharing an Excel table or a PDF snapshot of the dashboards. So now let's take a look at a demo introducing the new features of Datorama reports.
Leveraging marketing intelligence from Datorama, the analytics layer for Marketing Cloud, you can automatically prepare messaging data for analysis via out-of-the-box dashboards, scheduled reports, and pivot tables to explore your data. We'll begin our demo right from within Marketing Cloud for an embedded analytics experience. I can access Datorama reports directly from Analytics Builder. Think of this as your new home for monitoring campaign analytics for your email sends and journeys. Getting started with the new Datorama reports is easy, and you can do it in just a few clicks. Once you activate Datorama reports, we do all the heavy lifting, and within 48 hours, you'll have automated channel dashboards available alongside the ability to generate pivot tables and scheduled reports to suit your custom needs. Now let's take a look at some of the out-of-the-box dashboards from Datorama reports. As you can see, with the click of a button, marketers will now have dashboard insights that will help them make informed, data-driven decisions about their emails and journeys. In this email overview report, you get an executive-level view of top KPIs like sends, delivery rate, and open rate, and you can see how these metrics have performed over time. But for a deeper dive, you can also access reports specific to delivery, engagement, and performance data. Each dashboard is filterable and populated with a variety of visuals and widgets that surface the most important information and make data consumption and analysis simple and interactive. Here we can see engagement metrics by domain, time of week, and audience. You can also see aggregated journey data in the Journey Performance by Email report for a holistic view of the customer experience. But that's not the only way you can analyze data with Datorama reports. With this new feature, you can also access pivot tables for data exploration, creating custom reports that organize, summarize, and slice your data. With this tool, marketers can easily filter, sort, and group large volumes of data according to any metric or dimension. Finally, marketers also need to be able to share their insights at any moment with their stakeholders and across the organization. In the Reports module, you can easily schedule and share reports via Excel or CSV files or through visual formats like PDF. That takes us to the end of our demo of this exciting new reporting experience powered by Datorama.
So I'm sure all of you are excited about the potential that Datorama reports offers. So next up, we'll dive into a topic that I'm sure everyone is curious about, which is the new WhatsApp chat messaging with Marketing Cloud. So WhatsApp chat messaging is now rolling out as an add-on feature, and it is available to corporate and enterprise edition of Marketing Cloud users. It opens up Marketing Cloud users to over 2 billion WhatsApp users, amplifying your mobile reach. With Salesforce trusted app exchange partner, Cinch, you can easily set up your WhatsApp official account and channels, and also create message template within Marketing Cloud. Do note that a business can only initiate chats with your audience if you are sending a transactional notification. Non-transactional messages can only be sent in a 24-hour window if a person initiates a chat with your business first. So now let's jump right into a demo and see how WhatsApp chat messaging can be set up using the app exchange.
Hello, I'm Laura Blanford, a principal architect for Salesforce Marketing Cloud. Integrating with WhatsApp often comes with its own challenges and requires partnering with someone with local expertise. To do this, Marketing Cloud has partnered with a partner called Cinch in order to develop a chat messaging setup app. To access this app, click on the link in the welcome email you received. After downloading Cinch's chat messaging setup from the App Exchange, you'll be able to create your WhatsApp account and channels. Let's see it in action. To start sending WhatsApp messages, you first need to create a WhatsApp account using your Facebook Business Messenger account and the channels you want to send on. Your WhatsApp account is the phone number your end users will see and use to communicate with your brand. Your account will have one or more channels that you use to communicate with your customers. Once your account and channels are created and approved, you can now start to configure your messaging.
So once set up, you can start sending WhatsApp messages from your Marketing Cloud instance. Next, let's talk about the type of messages that you can send out. So as I've mentioned earlier, you can only initiate chats with a transaction notification to your audience. So these transactional templates that you are sending out to your audience can be created within Marketing Cloud, but you'll need to get them approved by WhatsApp before it can be used. And one of the key use case for transaction notification is the ability to send timely transactional notification to your audience via WhatsApp. So some of these transaction notification can include delivery notification, payment confirmation, or even travel notification. So next up, let's take a quick look at a demo to see how you can create these template messages within Marketing Cloud and set it up in Journey Builder.
In the chat messaging setup app, under Message Templates, you'll see all approved templates and be able to create your own template. Here, you'll be able to define which business account it should be associated with, a name for it, and which of the predetermined template message categories your message belongs in. Once you define the languages, you'll also be able to include the message content here. And a reminder, this content needs to be approved by the WhatsApp team before you can send out these messages. When your template content is approved by WhatsApp, you'll receive a notification to your email, and now it's time to personalize your message. Let's do it together. Now that our template is approved, we can create a new template message. Browse for the template that was just approved, select the language, and use AmpScript or personalization strings to customize the message. Now it's time to send our message. Create a new multi-step journey and select the entry source data extension. This should be the data extension that holds all of your shipping information. Next, drag the new WhatsApp activity onto the canvas and click to configure. Select the message that you just personalized, and then also select the WhatsApp channel that you'll be sending on. Select the field in your data extension that holds the mobile phone value in the entry source. Once your activity is configured, you're good to go. Now shipment information will arrive to your users when you activate the journey.
So we've just seen how to set up transactional notification message using Journey Builder. Next, let's talk about another use case for WhatsApp messaging: auto replies. So as mentioned earlier, you can send only transactional notification to audience if it's unprompted. At the same time, you can also send non-transactional messages to your audience in the next 24-hour window if they were the ones who initiate the chat. So what better way to capitalize on this by adding in auto replies to actually help you automate and filter the messages that you receive. So with Marketing Cloud, you can journeyfy the WhatsApp experience by setting up an auto reply logic. And this allows you to personalize the communication and channels based on the keywords that Marketing Cloud is looking out for in the messages that you receive. And if any messages that you receive are too complex and can't be resolved by the logic, you can then choose to escalate the inquiry to your service agent. And this will improve the overall efficiency as well as ensure that your service agent are handling the toughest case that can't be addressed by this auto replies. Let's see this in action.
When a user comes to your channel, you can send pre-created automated messages with session messages. Let's go to Journey Builder to complete this message. Journey Builder helps create the flow of your customer communications. Session messages are sent after a user message is received. To set up a session message, you need to use the inbound chat listener entry source to listen to any messages coming to your channel. Next, you define your keywords to catch and send auto responses. For Northern Trail Outfitters, hi and hello will be our main keywords. Whoever comes to our WhatsApp channel and says hi or hello will receive our first created session message. Users can come to your channel and create an inbound chat through a WhatsApp link you send via SMS, through an email, or through a QR code in stores or advertisements. Next, we'll drag that new WhatsApp activity onto the canvas. We'll select that session message we just created. Since session messages don't need WhatsApp approval, we were able to build this directly in Content Builder. Once we select our message, we'll also select the appropriate app channel on which to send this message. Now that we have our first message configured, we can add a wait until response step, and this allows us to branch the journey based on the response keywords that we receive. We can add different keywords here to manage the responses we'll receive from our customers. We can also include an invalid response and no response path. For each different keyword we could receive, we could add a different activity, like a WhatsApp activity, an email message, or even open a case in Service Cloud for a service agent to contact them directly. Don't forget to keep your conversations simple and easy in order to capture user details and easily navigate them to your website. Let's take a look at what a session message conversation in WhatsApp would look like.
So that was a quick demo of how the auto replies would work. And I'm sure you're excited about the possibility that WhatsApp chat messaging with Marketing Cloud brings. So for now, I'll hand over to Ediste Paolo to talk about the other interesting and exciting release highlights that we have in store for you. Paolo?
Thanks, Justin. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Paolo, a solution architect in Acuant. We are going to take a closer look at the highlights of Marketing Cloud's more technical features released from October last year to January this year. We'll also touch on what this means to your businesses with some use cases and scenarios that you can wrap your head around. So without further ado, let's start with the new features for Marketing Cloud Einstein send time optimization and Einstein engagement frequency. One of my favorite things in Marketing Cloud is Einstein, the resident artificial intelligence engine. If you have a corporate or enterprise edition, then this gentleman has some tricks up his sleeve out of the box. Two of Einstein's most widely used features are now expanding to both multi-step journeys, in which you're already aware, and single send journey, essentially allowing you to optimize your journey campaigns and large one-off send campaign. Let's take a closer look on these new features. Einstein send time optimization, or STO, and Einstein engagement frequency, or EEF, are already favorites amongst our clients in creating more intelligent journeys. Now with their rollout to single send journeys, we're also taking that edge to your single send or batch and blast email campaigns. As you can see on the screen on your right, the power duo of STO and EEF increases your likelihood to engage with your customers at the right time and maximize open rates with the right frequency of sending messages. It also has the capability to suppress contacts that Einstein already knows are receiving too many from your brand. Let's take a closer look at each one. Einstein engagement frequency tells you four things. Who are your subscribers that are undersaturated or overlooked? Who are on target when it comes to frequency? Who are almost saturated? And those who are already saturated with too many messages. For this release, Salesforce Marketing Cloud now enables you to use this Einstein engagement frequency split in single send journeys. This functionality helps reduce messaging fatigue and easily suppress saturated contacts from large one-off email sends. Incorporating EEF in your single send journeys will seek to improve open rates and automate suppression to save time. And in regards to analytics, insights about contacts frequency and real-time segmentation is also added to single send journey dashboard. This also gives you the incentive to try out the new single send journey experience as well. This functionality will definitely level up your single send journeys or batch and blast campaign. Now, let's take a look at the changes to Einstein send time optimization. Einstein send time optimization takes the guesswork out of when it is the best time of day for your customers that would likely engage with your email based on your customers' historical engagement patterns. Similar to engagement frequency, you may have already been using this functionality in your multi-step journey. Since October 2020 release, Salesforce Marketing Cloud enables you to use the send time optimization activity in single send journey. This will ensure that your messages will be sent when your messages are most likely to be opened. Now you can optimize your send times to get the maximum engagement for both single send journey and multi-step journeys. With both of these enhancement for Einstein engagement frequency and Einstein send time optimization, let's take a look on how these features can help your business. What these features would mean is that the enablement of both send time optimization and engagement frequency in your single send journey means your batch and blast will be smarter. Each of your single send campaign can now be baked with intelligence, where your campaigns can send to segments who are more engaged with your communications and send at the time that they will likely to open the message. Now with that, let's take a look at the other component of Einstein that was enhanced in this recent release, which is called Einstein Content Selection. Another module of Salesforce Marketing Cloud Einstein that was enhanced is Einstein Content Selection. This release has blessed this feature with enhanced analytics that will give us insights about asset selection. Let's take a deeper look. First, let's have a review of what Einstein Content Selection do. If you guys recall, Einstein Content Selection selects the best content from a pool of approved content for every section of the message. The approved contents are assets that you can upload in Salesforce Marketing Cloud, and it provides real-time optimization as subscriber interact or engage with the message, meaning that it will provide personalized content for each subscribers when they open your message. As the subscriber open your message, Einstein then analyzes click results to find out which assets spark interest in your customers. In other words, which asset prompts the subscriber to click a link within the EDM. Those assets will then raise affinity and may appear more frequently from then onwards. Now let's take a look at what the new Einstein Content Selection Analytics features provide. In January 2021 release, Salesforce Marketing Cloud now provides two new analytic features in Einstein Content Selection that aims to, first, show the scale of selections over time, as well as the distribution selection, and second, an interface called Selection Browser that provides insight to the asset that was selected for a particular subscriber. This new features aims to explain the black box on why a content was selected for a subscriber and try to stitch the asset selection with the profile attributes of the subscriber. Using this new feature, it will mean that you will have the data and interface to better understand your customers or subscribers. The new Einstein features of this release will be very helpful in your campaigns and analytics. But now, let's take a look at the different module of Salesforce Marketing Cloud, which is SMS send under transactional API. In this release of Salesforce Marketing Cloud, SMS delivery tracking receipt are now provided for sends sent using API, particularly the transactional API. Let's take a closer look on what receipt data we can get on this channel of send. You might be questioning, does that mean that prior to this release, we are not getting any information about SMS delivery for SMS sent in Mobile Studio? The answer is no. You can get SMS delivery receipts since the March 2020 release. You'll be able to get it by tracking SMS delivery receipts from Mobile Studio's Mobile Connect by querying SMS message tracking data view in Automation Studio. What this release do is that it extends that functionality to include SMS sends via Salesforce Marketing Cloud's transactional API. For this release, the developers can now subscribe to webhooks for transient, bounce, and delivery events when sending SMS messages via transactional API. The ENS webhook service native to transactional API sends SMS delivery information as soon as the service receives it. This means that the reflection of delivery information is more timely as it does not need to rely to any scheduled automation jobs. It will thus ensure that the time-critical transactional sends will have its delivery information updated faster. The bullet of items you can see on the bottom left of this screen list down the new webhooks that was released. Now we can proceed to the highlights of this release, which would align your Marketing Cloud emails to be more interactive. AMP for email. For this section, we would like to conclude the features we've featured in this webinar with a showcase of an enhancement in your Salesforce Marketing Cloud email sends. Salesforce Marketing Cloud now supports AMP for email. Let's take a deeper look. AMP for email allows us to include AMP components inside rich, engaging email, making modern app functionality available within email. This means that highly interactive experience like engaging appointment bookings or RSVP submissions are now possible to build in Salesforce Marketing Cloud emails because of this new technology. This new feature will have seamless integration with Salesforce Marketing Cloud Content Builder, where you will have a separate interface to develop or build app-powered emails inside SFMC. Let's take a deeper look on how this technology works. One part of the magic formula on how this works is because AMP is a different MIME type than the traditional HTML and plain text. Thus enables developers to include AMP components in email, which have the ability to continually refresh fresh contents from remote endpoints, keeping emails up to date. These components also allow subscriber take and record actions inside their inbox. A note though, that because AMP for email is a new MIME type, this also means that this is not yet universally supported by all email clients. The growing number of email clients that supports AMP feature includes Gmail, Yahoo Mail, and Mail.ru. Now let's take a look on how AMP for email works in tandem with Salesforce Marketing Cloud.
Now, to fully understand the power of AMP for email, it's best to experience it from the subscriber's perspective. So here in my inbox, I've received this message from Northern Trail Outfitters. And in this email, they've included the interactive element of an image carousel. With something as straightforward as a carousel, Subscribers can easily browse through and view different products all within the inbox and engage in new ways. Let's see another AMP example in my inbox, but this time let's bring real-time data into the mix. Here you can see Northern Trail Outfitters following up with me after purchasing a bike, and with the power of AMP, it's providing an option for in-email appointment scheduling. It gives me options of times to come in and have help to assemble it. The email is using real-time data to show me only the times actively available, while also making it interactive, allowing me to schedule, you guessed it, without having to leave the inbox. So all of this is exciting from the subscriber experience. What does it look like in the application? Here in Content Builder, you can select HTML plus AMP or Template plus AMP options as your starting point. Once in the editor, you can see a few different places to get more information regarding AMP and how to set up for success. What you'll see when editing is the different options: HTML, plain text, and now the new AMP option. We copy and paste in our AMP code, and with the benefit of this in Content Builder, let's see what it looks like in Preview and Test. Here we can see our image carousel, and we like how it looks in the hero image space of our message. We can go even further and do a test send to confirm what it looks like in the inbox. Great, now you've seen the exciting subscriber experience and the way the marketer and developer can work together to send an engaging, interactive message.
Awesome. Imagine the possibilities of how this new feature, how this new technology will engage with your subscribers or customers. It has the potential to change the paradigm of email marketing. Thank you, everyone, for letting me showcase the new exciting features of Salesforce Marketing Cloud. Let me now pass the floor to Rachel to moderate any question you might have, if there's any, and the succeeding steps.
Thank you very much, Paolo and Justin, for that insightful presentation on the new features of Marketing Cloud. Now, I'm just having a look at the Q&A section, and it doesn't appear that we've had any questions throughout the presentation, but I'd just like to give the opportunity now if anyone wants to pose a question. I see we have one. Okay, we have a question from an anonymous attendee. Could we clarify what Datorama reports will replace by April? I'll give that one to Justin.
So Datorama reports will be replacing the discover report that's currently available within Marketing Cloud. So by default, if you look into Analytics Builder, you'll see that there's two different report types. One being your standard report and the other being your discover report. So discover report is slightly different from your standard report in the sense that you can actually build it out using a pivot table and then create some simple visualization out of it. There are certainly some limitations to that, and Datorama reports actually comes in as a very good alternative to discover reports that will be sunsetting in April 2022 release. So Datorama reports is actually available for use now. So you can check in with your account executive to see how it can be enabled for your Marketing Cloud instance.
Okay, thank you for that, Justin. I have one more question here. Which is, how long does a typical implementation of Marketing Cloud take, and how much does it cost? So thanks for that question. I guess that's one I can probably take myself. So, I mean, I guess the answer is it varies, depending on the complexity of the implementation and the requirements. It can be anything from a basic fast start implementation of 4 weeks, which will get the platform in place and give you the capability to send out an email to your subscribers. Obviously, if we're looking at a more complex setup where we're integrating multiple data sources, and if we want to actually look at leveraging the platform from a success perspective, then we would probably look at a more lengthy implementation, probably 6 to 12 months if we were including something like Interaction Studio as well. and building out a series of journeys, but it really does vary depending on the requirements, and I would be happy to have a conversation on a case-by-case basis on the costs and the timelines for the implementation. So thanks for that question. We have one more question here. Can the WhatsApp feature drive to landing pages, etc., via the automated replies? I'll pass that one across to Justin.
So the short answer is yes, it can be done. So the question is then, what is the use case to actually drive the subscriber engaging with you on WhatsApp to landing pages? So WhatsApp itself is a great platform to continuously engage with your subscriber or audience. And to a certain degree, if you drive them to a landing page, you are pretty much aiming for conversion or some kind of action. So typically, there are different ways for you to get the audience to actually initiate a conversation with you. And one of the examples is actually having some kind of link or QR code where someone can scan and start the conversation with your WhatsApp account. And from there, after a series of auto replies, if you want to drive them to a landing page, you simply have to insert that landing page into the message that you create, and the auto replies will actually send out that message if, let's say, a certain keyword is observed.
Okay, thank you, Justin. Okay, I have another question here. Thanks for the questions, guys. These are really good. So currently we're using STO for single send journeys. What is the best way to try and start testing EEF? Any ideas on that one, Justin?
So to include EEF into your current single send journey, I mean, a good way to start is to look at your Einstein dashboards, and from there you can actually have a sense of out of your entire subscriber base, what is the saturation level based on the number of communications they have received. And from there, you can then decide whether you want to, for example, if let's say there is a huge percentage of your existing subscriber base that's unsaturated, you might want to increase the number of ad hoc bulk sends that you are doing and target to those that are undersaturated. Or if let's say you observe that there's a high number of highly saturated subscribers currently, you might want to look at your existing campaign calendar, identify which campaign is maybe of a low priority, and use EEF to ensure that only send those low priority campaigns if they are undersaturated.
Great, thank you very much for that, Justin. Okay, I don't think we have any more questions. Yet there's still time if anybody wants to ask a question. Please feel free to post in the Q&A or the chat box. If there's no further questions, I think we can wrap up the webinar. I just have one more slide to share, and that is just to say that obviously there's been a lot of content presented today. Marketing Cloud seems to be growing by the day and introducing new and exciting features very often, and we understand that with a million other things going on in the businesses, it can be a struggle sometimes to keep up and keep ahead. So we're obviously here to support you and to help you and let us do the hard work for you if you're struggling for that time or that resource. We're running a number of what we call success fee models with customers at the moment, where the pricing is very much based on the results that we deliver for you rather than a fixed implementation cost or retainer. So it's a case of you win, we win type of model. So if anybody on the call would like to understand some more about those kind of models or discuss what we can do for you in terms of growing your Marketing Cloud revenue, please reach out to me directly. I'd be very happy to set up some time to have a conversation about that. So I think that concludes the webinar. We're a little bit ahead of schedule.
We have one last.
Oh, we have one more question. Okay. In regards to AMP, will there be any additional reporting generated from it? I think this one will pass across to Paolo. Paolo, would you like to take that one?
Hello, sure. So in regards to AMP, as of the current, AMP sends will be treated as an email send in Salesforce Marketing Cloud. So that means that your standard email analytics from Email Studio will work. It will track all of those AMP sends inside the platform. If you require some more custom report using the AMP technology, then it is a more custom work. But what I can say is that all of the standard email sends report will work with that type of send.
Thank you, Paolo. Okay. So I think if there's no further questions, I just want to say thank you to everybody who took the time to attend this afternoon's webinar. It's been a fantastic experience for us as well to be able to share our knowledge and our expertise with you. And we're always here to help. If you have any questions or need any help with Marketing Cloud, please just feel free to reach out to me or Justin or Paolo or anyone in the Aquium team. And we look forward to working with you all in the future. So thanks everybody and have a great afternoon ahead.